Hey YouTube clan, Tyconder's here doing another action figure review. Now today is another newish figure. This is from 2020 I believe, as opposed to 2021. And this is from the G.I. Joe retro line. I picked this up recently. I had passed her before, mainly because I wasn't too happy with the way Hasbro kind of redid her. And it is the G.I. Joe Scarlett figure. Now, I'm not sure if this is European packaging or if it's the same way that it was packaged in the States. She comes in a homage to her original packaging. So she has the picture cover art of the character on the side. Everything is enclosed in a bubble, a plastic bubble, with the G.I. Joe logo up the top. But what I think the reason it being a international card is, I'm not sure if you can see that there, the file card is very, very small, as in it has like a couple of words, just a small bit in English, and then it's replicated in several different languages across the board. So this could be maybe a Canadian card or a European card. I'm not too sure. I have a feeling the original retro card for the States has the original file card, which is just in English only. So I could be wrong. Someone might be able to correct me in the comments. So the other figures in this wave was Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, which I passed on because I already have those versions, Baroness, which I did a review of, Roadblock, and Destro. Destro, I already have the 50th anniversary version, which is essentially the same figure. Roadblock, I can't remember if they changed him up too much. I don't remember wanting him. I have a few figures which I consider my ultimate versions of characters. So ultimate version of Roadblock, which I have, which is one of the more recent ones they did. So I do have that. Now, out of all the retro character figures, she does come with a few accessories, one of which is kind of puzzling to me. But I guess they added it because she needed something a little bit more than what she normally came with. So she comes with a base with the G.I. Joe logo on it and her name, which is fairly standard. All the 25th anniversary figures pretty much came with one of these. I'm glad they went with the 25th anniversary style base as opposed to the Rise of Cobra dog tag style one. They could have easily just reused the dog tag ones, but they went the more traditional flat Cobra or G.I. Joe one. The Cobra ones have a Cobra logo embossed on them, whereas the G.I. Joe has the G.I. Joe logo. And the dog tag ones, if I remember correctly, didn't have anything on them. They just had it flat. So, and there was a painted on or printed on symbol, depending on which way you went with it. She comes with this little case with crossbow bolts, which is interesting because the original figure only came with one accessory. So I suppose they did, as I said, they needed to kind of flesh out what she came with. So it plugs into her back. Now, the one thing that's kind of annoying is the hair does get in the way of it. So depending on which way you have the head, it will cover that hole, the peg hole for putting in their backpack. So you kind of have to have her head off to the side. Her hair is kind of softer, but I wouldn't overstretch it because you could potentially snap this off. Over time, it might get very worn and just pop off. She does come with a crossbow, which is in 2 pieces. Now, I will do a little bit of a disclaimer. This is not the one that came with her. Unfortunately, because we have wooden floors here and a few gaps in between the wooden floors, it fell out of her hand when I was moving her around, and the front piece, I was able to find the front piece, but I was missing this piece and it had fallen in under one of the floorboards, unfortunately. So we'll have to retrieve it at some point. But just my luck, it fell into the floorboards. I did have a replacement one, which I believe is exactly the same. I got in a lot of spare weapons off friends of mine, so it should be the exact same type of crossbow that comes with the figure. And then the other thing, which I'm not too sure why she comes with, is this. And what this is a web gear or harness thing. I don't remember her using one of these in the cartoon. It might be a nod to the cartoon, but I don't remember her having one of these. And this thing is essentially, if I just bring one in, it's the Cobra Trooper harness. For some reason, she comes with one of those. do with what you will. So the figure itself is not a all new figure. The head is new. The torso, arms and legs are all reuse. And I'm trying to remember the name of the character that they reused. It was I think they used it as a Night Force figure from the 50th anniversary line, if I remember correctly. And I think they reused the torso on the Cobra, female Cobra troopers or Cobra officers, if I remember correctly, as well, from the G.I. Joe Club. So it is sort of a mishmash of reused parts. But overall, she's quite nicely sculpted. The piece on the side here is painted on, so again, just be wary. That might be paint, that might rub off over time, which is one of the things that I was kind of a bit disappointed in, because if I remember correctly, the 25th anniversary version of her torso had this sculpted on, which is one of the reasons why I didn't kind of go to buy her straight off the bat, because of this kind of painted on thing, which I kind of figured would rub off over time. She's not exactly how she appears on the cover. Her belt is painted. On the original figure, she has all these pockets. She actually has larger gloves on the original figure as well, which I'm not sure why they didn't just reuse the 25th anniversary hands. I know they're a little bit, might have been maybe a bit thinner. Maybe that's why they didn't do it. But like the 25th anniversary hands had the larger gloves and had the sculpted on throwing stars on one side, and I think they had the pistol in underneath. But even so, it isn't too bad. It's not too badly done. Articulation wise, her head is on a ball joint. She has ab crunch. It's not the best, but it gives her rotation at the waist. Nothing in the, or sorry, at the chest. Nothing in the waist for rotation. She can go out and in with the arm and all the way around, 360. She has a swivel in the elbow, a single jointed bend, swivel in the wrist. She can kick forward, she can kick back a small bit. She has a double hinged knee. She can hinge her ankle. She doesn't have the rocker ankles, but she just has a rotation. She has rotation in the wrist as well. So she does have quite a few points of articulation, and she has 2 peg holes on the bottom of her feet to help her onto that stand. Now there is 2 pegs on the stand, but she seems to only fit into one of them more than both, but you can do it. And then just for a comparison, here is the retro version Baroness with the more kind of lifelike skin tone. Overall, I think the head on these new retro figures are really, really nice. Some of the detailing is pretty nice. Paint apps can be a little sloppy on some of them. For example, my Baroness has a bit of paint slap on the gloves. Some of that grey has bled out onto the actual knuckles and stuff like that. But other than that, she's not too bad. But overall, she's quite good. And if you have other weapons from different companies, this I believe is one of the Marauder, really old Marauder submachine guns. She can hold that pretty reasonably well. And if you have guns from other G.I. Joe figures, you can have her holding that instead of just the basic crossbow. The harnessing does go on her reasonably well. There is a clip on the front of it that opens up, and you just swing it around her arms. I won't do it on camera, but because honestly, it's an accessory I'll probably never use with her. I'll probably end up losing. So overall, she's a really good figure. Unfortunately, the aftermarket prices have gone up on this one. It's kind of hard to find her reasonably well on eBay for anything less than, I think, $80, which is kind of annoying, because if I remember correctly, when they first came out, they were either 15 to 20 for the initial figures. I picked this up off a eBay seller in Ireland that was selling for a bit less than that. It was still a bit over, it was a bit over the retail price, but I did manage to pick her up reasonably cheaper than what I've seen other prices on eBay for. So if you are hunting for one, just keep an eye to eBay. You might find someone selling them off, or selling one off reasonably cheap, or you might, maybe down the line, Hasbro might reissue them again, just for people that didn't get them. So overall, it is a good figure. Do keep an eye out for looking for one if you're interested in getting one. Don't pay those stupid scalper prices on it. Try and hold out and see if they'll reissue, or if you might be able to find one at a reasonable price. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video review for Scarlett, the G.I. Joe. Well, she was a covert agent, if I remember correctly. Counterintelligence agent, Scarlett. And as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. Cheers.